Padmashri?
Don't know. I think we'll start.
Yeah.
It is good to.
29,000 verses Yoga Vasishtha. My
Yeah.
goodness. So much of knowledge in India.
Hmm.
And it's all hidden in stories, so it's very difficult to decipher.
It's a Yoga Samhita.
No, it is not like that. But
Attributed to Maharshi Valmiki. Although the real author is Vasishtha.
yeah.
But Vasishtha is before Valmiki. Yeah?
No. Valmiki is the writer of Ramayana, whereas Vasishtha is the rishi. He comes into the kingdom to teach, and Rama is already established in that. Then Rama asks questions to Vasishtha because he loses interest in life
At young age.
at the young age. So he just does the drama of whatever you are seeing as Ramayana.
Correct.
That's all what it is. So when you look at Ramayana, when you hear to Ramayana, it looks what is so great about it? See, the people misunderstand and say that the Ramayana speciality is Ekapatni Vrata. That looks stupidity. We are all doing Ekapatni Vrata only. We don't have a harem of women with us saying that, look, I have possessed these many women in my life. So that is stupidity actually. The greatness about Ramayana is Rama is already a realized and liberated being, and yet he will function as though he is an ignorant person. So if somebody were to say, how can you work in your life even though you are realized and liberated, Rama is the example.
You will understand what Rama is if you read Yoga Vasishtha. The real Rama.
This other Rama is a person who did all kind of things, and the question then comes when Maricha comes, and then it is actually called as mirage. So this Sita looks at the deer, and she wants him to fight and go and get it, and all that funny story is there. Quite understandable. But then that is not Rama whom you are seeing. He is pretending to be doing all of that. But
the same thing with Sita also?
No. Sita gets into that stage only later.
Okay.
So he literally acts. So if the question what you keep on asking, or even Padmashri keeps on saying that you need to quit the job and you need to go, that is one way. But if you look at Rama, he never quit his job nor he did anything. He exactly showed how a samsari should be and yet liberated. So to understand Rama, you need to be a realized human being. That's a minimum requirement. So all the four of us should be a realized being. Then only that is a valid document to read. Otherwise it is, you cannot understand head or tail of it.
So this also it says in Wikipedia that it's a Maya and a Brahman.
Yes.
It's the same non-duality.
It is non-dual. Then the question comes, how to experience non-dual. It is not as simple as what Vivekachudamani is, and yet we are finding very difficult in Vivekachudamani. So just imagine the plight if you were to go through Yoga Vasishtha.
Yeah, correct. So in Vivekachudamani, you say this is not Annamaya Kosha, is not Pranamaya Kosha, is not like that we go. There everything is that.
Story, yeah?
No, not only story, it is so hidden. If you read the story, but you can finish the whole book. It is just 356 pages. You can read it in 2-3 days and done with it. Oh, okay, I have read Yoga Vasishtha. Okay, I can send you that book. it's in English, so you can easily read, and there is one shloka, and in the explanation of the shloka is there, then there ends the matter. But to understand what is consciousness, you should have experienced what is consciousness yourself. Without which you cannot. It is just like fooling oneself that I know. So maybe I can give a discourse on that. That's most easiest. But if I have not myself experienced whatever is there, it is of no use. And yesterday, Lata and I had a discussion, so I asked her to read it again, the pages what she was talking about. And this morning I have given her 2 pages as assignment. I want to see what she understands by that. So even if you want to be part of this assignment game, I am in game for that. But you have to make time, read, understand, write it down, and next day you have to discuss. And we are going to have a debate on that. Why this, why that, how it works, all that.
That's actually interesting, but you don't have to write down. You just have to.
No, write down in the sense that whatever you are experiencing, if you write it down, it is good to reflect.
Then sometimes you will miss it.
Yeah, you will miss it. You'll remember then, and after some time you don't remember what it was. And then if you read that book again or that particular page again, you will not get the same experience.
Okay.
So what I can tell you is, if you want to go deeper, then you should make at least 5 hours in a day for this. In the work only you have to do it, but you should make it.
Yeah. So what I have done is, normally I don't use my laptop for these things. So, but this time I have opened the Yoga Vasita and kept. So whenever I get free time, 2 minutes, 3 minutes also, I will look at it. But I know the story, whatever is written, very well. Now you have to think about it. So for that you don't need to read. So whenever you are doing something also, you can think.
But I can give you an example. Let us say we 3 are talking now. Who are these 3 who are talking? That is what you need to observe. Then if you sit in a meeting, you observe who is the persons who are talking. Is there anything called as talking? That's all. Now you will not be able to do that. After 2 minutes, you will jump into that project.
Yes, it comes back to what you call Maya Loka.
Now you might know the subject. It doesn't really matter. But as far as Yoga Vasista goes, it's of no use to you. Because you are back in samsara. You should know how to detach from samsara and yet know its contents. Anyway, today I had to finish that deathless, so I will start with that. So before we begin with that, let me go through the Yoga Vasista only. So there are 7 bhumikas in this, which has to be established. Okay, that is the ultimate of the entire Yoga Vasista. Or
7 bhumikas to be established. Okay.
Yeah. So the first bhumika, which I think we have established for last 2.5 plus years, is something called as the Subhecha. Shubha Icha. That is to get in Shubha, to understand what reality is, because that's the only Shubha. Everything else is Ashubha. Okay, that is one thing we have been doing consistently, day in day out. Every day we are meeting at 8:30 and ending at 9:30, which is a very good thing. I think that is all we have done in the last 2.5 years out of 7. Okay. Now in this, if you were to proceed further, You need to have the sadhana chatushtaya. In that, the 6 things, Shad Sampatti, has to be established. Good morning, Padmashri. So, morning.
Good morning, Padmashri.
So we waited. So I think you added all the days early and made it late.
Looks like, yeah.
Every
Compensated for all.
compensated. So every day you have added 2 minutes extra what you had came, and then made it as 12 minutes or 14. That's okay. So the first thing is that we have been doing, the 4 of us have been doing, is to meet at 8:30 or 8:45, whatever time we had set, and we are doing it judiciously. So that is one thing we can tick. But the minus thing is that we have not worked on the Shat Sampatti at all in a proper way. Okay, this one thing we need to see what can be done. That's the assignment. Okay, without Shat Sampatti and Sadhana Chatushtaya, it is not going to work. So the next one is Vicharana, and we are nowhere near that Vicharana. What is Vicharana? Is to know the real and unreal. By now you should get some visions, you should get some experiences, and you should be able to share those experiences. You, in the sense, this is for all the 4 of us. So if you are getting experiences regularly, day in, day out, then you have moved into Tanu Manasa. Tanu means reduction and Manasa is the mind. So your mind starts dropping away the scenes, which is nothing but the relationship. So the wife or husband and children and office and this and that keeps on marginalizing itself. So this 3rd stage is Tanu Manasa. And the 4th stage is Sattva Patti. That means the Sattva Apatti. That is, the Tamas and Rajas will start diminishing so much that you feel that you have reached the destination, but it is not. It is just Sattvapatti. Now what happens at Sattvapatti is you will start to see the reality of everything. So when I say reality of everything, it starts with you. Who is you? So who am I starts from Sattvapatti. So first Subhecha, we have done that to a good degree, but we are not established in the Sadhana Chatushtaya at all in a proper way. So we have stopped the journey. Actually, we have not moved into Vicharana. When you do Vicharana, you get lot of insights. Even on daily basis, you will get at least 1 or 2 insight. You go for a walk, you will get an insight. If you go for a toilet, you will get insight. If you take a bath, you get insight. Like that. But it will not be very firm. That means after some time you will forget that insight. And that is the reason I was telling all of you to write it down. Unless you have a better, very good memory to recall it back. This is for Vicharana. And if that works, then you have in Tanu Manasa. Then you don't have to write it down because the mind is always in that. Okay. Then the 4th one is Sattvapatti. So now you are in Sattva most of the time. The real Sattva, not the ethical Sattva what we talk about. Okay, then that means you are able to understand what is real and what is unreal. Then it gets interesting. From Sattva Patti it comes to Asam Shakti. Now you will start to feel the energies. You will start to understand the vibrations, you will start to understand the mantras, you will start to get insight which you never knew that you had. So this is the 5th one. Then you get to a stage of Padartha Abhavana. This is the 6th one. So I wanted to share another thing which happened yesterday evening. So this is what Padartha Abhavana is. So we were going at around 6:30 p.m. to somewhere. So I was finding that there is no person at all, and there is no thing as anything. It was such a nice experience. I was on the road, we are going on two-wheeler, and I'm feeling so very happy that nobody exists, including the driver. Okay, that is Padartha Abhavana. What it means is that you will really come to see that there is no chair, there is no table, there is no you, there is no computer, there is nothing like that. It's all only 4 elements. That's all you'll see. You will see in the sense that it's not, you don't see right now. You know intellectually it is not a table, but you still call a table. But in that Padartha Bhavana, you don't feel like calling it as a table because you don't see it as a table anymore. You will just see not as wood also. You will see it as real Prithvi. So the first time ever you will experience what is the purity of the elements, or the Bhuta Shuddhi. Now if that completely happens, then you become what you think. What I spoke to you yesterday is what you will see as the end result of it. So yesterday, at the time of taking the bath, my wife had asked one question the previous day. That answer came, that this is what the answer for this question. So I went and told her, how can a person stay in the same state? So her question was, if somebody asks for 1 crore rupees, how it comes and why it doesn't come? So I was telling her that Nirantara Abhyasa is not there. That thought has to remain there forever. Meaning to say that that lens, which is the mind, shouldn't have any other obstruction, which is I can keep a steel tumbler, and under that if I keep paper and I imagine that it is going to burn that paper, it is never going to happen. That tumbler will become hot at the max, but nothing else is happening. So when we are in tamas, when we are in rajas, this is never going to happen. It's impossible unless the tumbler is removed. So you need to have that jnana to remove the tumbler, and then consciousness burns that paper. So that is what we are calling about Chidabhasa. The lens is the Chidabhasa, the sun is the consciousness, and the paper is you, that ego, that gets completely erased out. And if that happens, even for a second, if it happens, that lens goes away. So there is no mind at all, and that is the state of Turiya. So this is the journey from Subhecha to Turiya in 7.
Yeah, just when you were talking, I was also scanning. I just got one book, Devudu, 1950s. He has written. He has translated. I think first sloka, what you are talking, it is already just explain. I was just relating what you are talking, and that everything is Maya. In the Akasha, if you see this earth, it's like one dot there in the Akasha. It's all Maya. If you are able to, if you think that it is a reality, but the time wise, it is not reality. After some time, it will not be there. It comes and it goes. So you have to see that as it's Maya. I think what you are explaining is also same thing here. Chidabhasa.
Correct.
If you see a table, it is maybe earth element. That's it. Nothing beyond that.
not maybe. That is all what it is.
Yeah. Because this is amazing for me, Vilas, because I thought this Advaita is something started from Shankaracharya, maybe one or two acharyas before. But this is Yoga Vasishtha, that Valmiki, before that, Agastya, before that only this started.
Yes.
This thinking. And so many slokas, thousands of slokas, I can't even imagine. And Parvati, Shiva, everything is explained as if it is everything is Maya here.
Yes, all the things are Maya, including Shiva, Parvati, Ganesha, Subramanya, everything is Maya. It's all in the mind. They don't really exist.
Mm-hmm. So, what you are talking is, whatever you are doing in your life, you are working, and you see Advaitam there, you see Brahman there, correct?
Correct.
There is no need to stop anything. Whatever you keep doing it, but now onwards you do it in a spiritual way. Because the way you look at it, your vision should be that.
Yes,
That means you are moving, shifting 180 degrees. From materialistic life, you are shifting to spiritual fully.
Yeah, yesterday I was telling.
But when you see spiritual life and materialistic life, it will continue. You don't have to worry much.
No, I was telling Lata yesterday that there is such a misunderstanding between materialistic life and spiritualistic life. Now let me give you a clarity on that. What is being spiritual and what is being materialistic? Materialistic means not knowing the reality. That's all what.
Yes. Yes, correct.
Spiritualistic means knowing reality, but what we have done is that we have popped up that spiritual so much that it looks like an achievement.
Yes. We brought spirituality to materialistic for acquiring more and more material.
Yes.
Trayobala means you will get more money, wealth. And we said it is Lakshmi. We have complicated things unnecessarily.
Yes, we have complicated things unnecessarily. So what this Mahavira did is, he said 3 things you should not do. Number 1, don't pray to Lakshmi. First one. Because if you pray to Lakshmi, you will get more life. Second, don't pray to Ganesha. Because if you pray to Ganesha, you will have the Vigna removed, and if the Vigna get removed, your Prarabdha will increase. The second one. Third one, don't beg for favors. Don't go to a temple to beg for a favor. So the favor here is, they will put Shubh Labh. Is a favor.
What is that?
Every Marwadi Jain will put in his shop Shubh Labh.
Yeah, Shubh Labh, yes.
Don't put that. Because it is not Shubh nor it is Labha. You will only increase greed.
Labh is wrong.
You will only increase greed. Unfortunately, almost all the Jains, they don't eat non-vegetarian. Perfect, very good.
Yes.
But they keep all these 3. So they build big homes, big offices, big shops, keep on accumulating. They don't eat properly. They stay either in a very small place or they stay in a very big place. But
in Bangalore, they prefer only this rented house, not owned one, because unnecessary you have to invest.
Yes, unnecessary you have to invest. So they then become honeybees. Now when Tirthankara, Rishabh, first Tirthankara, looked at it, he transformed most of the kings to give up. And the last Tirthankara, Mahavira, did the same thing. So many businessmen even at that time, became follower of Jain Muni. Jina means who have won over the mind. And that's the reason it's called as Jain. One who has won over. But unfortunately, wrong understanding and wrong meditation makes people to believe in Lakshmi, Ganesha and Shubha. So if I say I'm doing Mahalakshmi Vrata, done, very good, you have already accumulated enough punya for new lives. As many Mahalakshmi Vrata you do, that many you get it.
So Varamahalakshmi is not recommended by Mahavir.
Yes, if you are on a spiritual path.
I got it. Yeah.
Now, what is spiritual? Knowing what is reality is spiritual.
Yes.
What is reality? Brahman is the only reality, everything is illusion. Then isn't Lakshmi an illusion? It is. Now,
Yeah, anything you do through your mind is illusion.
yes. So Lakshmi appears in the mind. So if Lakshmi appears in the mind, it should be an illusion.
Experience happens within mind, right? In our this discussion.
Yes, experience obviously happens.
Material experience. Spiritual experience means you have to drop mind.
No. Spiritual experience initially happens in the mind. And like what Padma Shri spoke about the mirror, that will remain for some time and that also breaks down completely. So there is no mirror also. Then you are everything. There is no difference between the infinite consciousness and you. Because that is your real nature. That's your true nature. So, in our tradition also, we follow Ganesha festival, we follow Lakshmi festival, and we do all kind of puja, this, that, for Shubha Labh.
Health, wealth, and happiness.
Yes.
For that we do.
Yes. So it is
But
good.
nothing wrong in maintaining good health, right? But there's nothing to beg with anybody.
But we are begging, right? We
Health should happen with your own effort.
but that
Eat
doesn't
right food, do right thinking.
That's correct. But that discretion is not there. That Viveka is not there. So when we go to a temple, the first thing we ask
But
is,
money earning also you can do it with your own effort without begging also.
yes, you don't have to. So all the three, health, wealth, happiness, you can do it on your own. What is wealth? Wealth is Brahman. What is health? Abiding in Brahman is the only health. What is happiness? You are always blissful. Is happiness. Chidananda Swarupam, Shivoham. That's all. Because you have health, you have wealth and happiness. This body is of no health. It is a loan taken. Better to give it up.
Yeah, body is borrowed.
It's a borrowed one. It was never yours. I can't claim this is my body. Neither my parents can claim that it was their body, and their parents, and their parents, and their parents, like that. It is a borrowed source. If
Borrowed from Prakriti.
it is from Prakriti. So you have borrowed it. You have to give it back. Which we are giving it anyway at the time of death. It doesn't really matter whether you have 1 crore in your account or 100 crores in your account or 1 million crores in your account. At the time of passing, that 1 million crores is not going to come anyway. Or a person might not have anything. It doesn't matter.
But we carry Papa and Punya with this.
So then there is a corollary. Corollary here is, yes, that is for sannyasis, but for grihastha. You need to have money, you need to have the health, and you need to have family happiness. Very good. So that is called bandhana, bondage. Now in bandhana, what you should have? You should have Raksha Bandhana. Then you should have festivals as bandhana. So you need to have tradition as a bandhana. Then you should have views as a bandhana. So you keep on adding this, that, and ensuring that we have more than million lives to lead. So, unfortunately, what happens here, spirituality means some achievement and materiality doesn't mean anything at all, is one view. Another view is materiality is the best thing to do, spirituality is nothing great about it. But actually speaking, there is no concept called as materiality, nor there is any concept called as spirituality. Because matter is made for consciousness only. So there can't be anything exclusive called as materiality, and there can't be anything specific, special thing called as spirituality. So materialistic thinking means not knowing the reality. Spiritualistic thinking means understanding the reality. That is ignorance and knowledge. You have the knowledge, spiritual. You don't have the knowledge, it is materialistic. But it doesn't mean how much you possess as money is materialistic, and if you don't have anything at all, then you are spiritual. That is far from truth. In fact, it's a fake thing. Or if somebody were to look at somebody and say that, he is having a lot of money, so he's not spiritual. This guy doesn't have any money, so he's spiritual. No. That is again foolishness. It is in the action what the person is doing. Let's say somebody is dead. What is his reaction to that death? Shows that whether the person is materialistic, meaning he doesn't know the truth, or the person knows the truth and he is happy about somebody dying because he knows nobody is dead as such. Nobody was born to die. So then there's nothing to worry. That is called as deathless. And that state of deathlessness is nothing but sthita prajna. So when a person is in sthita prajna, he is a adhyatmavadi.
Yes.
Because for him 1 million rupees or dollar or thousands and thousands of kgs of gold and mud remains the same. He doesn't view this high or that low or that high and this low. So for him or her, the aspect of having property or no property or this or that does not exist. In that way, materiality and spirituality don't really exist. Because if spirituality and materiality were to exist, then it is Brahman Satya, Jagat also Satya. So if Brahman is Satya and Jagat is Mithya, then spirituality and materiality is also as much fake as or illusory as any other thing. So if we start selling spirituality, saying that this is a medicine for blah blah blah, then it is one of the foolish mistake anybody is doing. Because it's again back into duality, which is Dvaita. So that is the reason Madhvacharya said it is impossible to understand Advaita. So the world is Dvaita. You cannot remove Dvaita and make it Advaita. Unless Sri Hari intervenes and makes that happen. By choice, the Jivi will choose Dvaita only. It's a natural selection to be having Dvaita. So Advaita is not possible. Even the most dreaded Advaiti, who swear by Advaita, he is still Advaiti. Unless he experiences what is indicated in Yoga Vasishta, then he is an Advaiti.
I have understood why you are asking experience sharing. Whatever you have experienced that day, you are asking explain from this angle, spiritual angle.
Correct.
Materialistic angle is not everyone.
Yes. So that's the reason I keep on sharing with you people that what did I experience for today.
That is possible. But only thing is, my problem is I cannot write down.
No, fine. You share. The problem
Because writing down takes 5 times more time than thinking and talking.
see, if you are really experiencer, then time doesn't exist.
Yes.
If you are calling there is something called as time, you have come into duality.
You have caught me there.
So time and space is a concept. It doesn't really exist.
No, I want to apply Advaitam there. Whether you write or doesn't write, it is all Prakritik. What you experience is experience. Come and explain.
Yes, you come and explain, but unless you get into Sattvapatti, it is very difficult.
That is difficult, yes.
Because
No, it is very difficult, understood. It's very, very difficult.
Because I'll tell you, when you get into Vichara,
Taking this our Maya Loka into the what you call real world is as if Maya Loka doesn't exist. Then what is experience to share?
yes, and secondly, the major distraction is one's own intellect.
Yes.
And the intellect is very strong. That is, if some person is very intellectual, very smart and very logical, it's next to impossible to experience anything. Because it comes
Vilas, here one question here. We are earning some salary every year. And we know that we need throughout our life, 1 year earning is sufficient for just for survival throughout the life. I think you are demonstrated that already. The question is now, when somebody comes and asks a person who deserves, he wants that money. And we know that he is poor, he doesn't have equivalent to us. Can we give that money full to him? We will use our brain calculations. Is he worth? What will he do with my money? And all that. Is he known to me? Is my friend? If I give, will he return after some time? A favor to favor. With that, whatever he earned, we don't want to give. That is what our intellect strongly says. Finally, we conclude with Bhagavad Gita only, you give it to only deserving people. We start searching for what is that deserving people means. And with that, whatever we earned, we don't give maybe 1%, 2%, here, there, something will do dhanam. Then some money goes to temple and puja. Less money goes for the real purpose. So this is what all our I can say people who are having money, we decide. So then where is the spirituality? You don't want to give. And if you come and explain me tomorrow, see people come to me for asking for money. Maybe poor people, those who are going on the road here, they'll say, I'll clean your garden, give me 1,000 rupees. Like that. There also we calculate. That guy will be really working for 2 hours, it will be 200 rupees. Why should I pay 1,000? Like that we start thinking. Then if I have to think from Yoga Vasishta point of view, what should I come and explain such situations?
No, I'll give you the same example in all the 7 states. So that's a very good experience for all of us. Number 1, Subhecha, to donate. Okay. Intellect says money donation is the only donation. Okay. So the Subhecha is also gone. Money donation is not the only donation. Number 1. Number 2, don't attach number to anything. Otherwise, you will not go into next one, which is called Vicharana. See, 1,000 rupees or 100 rupees or 10,000 rupees or 1 lakh rupee is a number. we can't measure somebody and saying that is he worth for that. No. Now you have only two choices, either to give or not to give. Again, it is dependent on subhecha. Now come to vicharana. How did that beggar or whoever or that laborer or whatever happen? How did he happen to be that? So here you have to apply Advaita. Brahman Satya Jagat Mithya. There is no beggar, there is no laborer, there is this or there is that, it does not exist. So you have to force through it at that moment and just give. Okay, and that is called vicharana. What is real, what is unreal. If that works out very well, then the third one happens, which is tanumanasa. It will keep on reducing the impact what you have made on yourself. Meaning, it will start to figure out that whether this person is capable or not capable, that goes away. You don't care now. You become totally lethargic in that. You don't want to find out. Because you believe that it is his person's karma, not yours. So this third one, tanumanasa. If that works out very well, then you come into sattvapatti, where you will find no difference between him and you, because both are beggars only. I am also begging for food, he is also begging for the food.
Yes.
That's a reality. I am begging for shelter, he is also begging for shelter. I am begging for clothing, he is begging for clothing. I am begging for medicines, he is also begging for medicine. The only difference here is affordability. I can afford, he can't afford. But we both are beggars. Going to office is also begging only. There is nothing other than begging. And whomever we call as customers, the company is begging for business. So ultimately, every human being, animal and birds and insects and everything is begging only for survival.
Yes.
That is sattvapatti. Now, where the question of whether he is capable or incapable, whether he deserves or not deserve, what is there to compare? If that state goes beautifully, then the fifth state, asam shakti, you will suddenly get some energy which will show the reality for you. That beggar will not see it, but you will start seeing it. Now I'll tell you what I saw. Now, just like I was telling my wife yesterday, that in few days I should be able to see like Ramkrishna Paramahamsa. Because now what I'm seeing is I'm so filled with awe when somebody opens up the mouth and when somebody makes the eyes and he talks or whatever it is, I feel like seeing that person. Okay, I see how the consciousness is able to open the mouth, how it is able to make the sound vibrate, how it is able to deliver something, how it is able to eat, how it is able to bath. So I was telling her that in few days I think I will get into that stage where I keep on watching everyone. So that is sattvapatti. If that works, padartha abhavana will happen. That means there is no beggar at all in the first place. It's only consciousness playing the role. Then the seventh one, turiya. Nothing is yours. It is all Maya. You are you only. There is no wife or no husband, no beggar, no office, no cafeteria, no road, no India, no world, no earth, no anything. Nothing of that exists. It only exists in consciousness. Outside consciousness, nothing exists. So done. So
when you're away from Maya, what is next?
Turiya. That is what I told you, right?
That is seventh one.
Seventh one.
So this is Subeksha, Vicharana,
Tanumanasa,
Satvapatti,
Satvapatti,
and
Asamshakti.
Asamshakti, Maya, Turiya.
No.
This definition is from where?
This is from Yoga Vasishta only.
Oh, this Yoga Vasishta you explained so far. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Because we started on Yoga Vasishta, I thought
Okay, good.
this is the 7 bhumikas of Yoga Vasishta. So the entire stories, starting from Vasishta and Arundhati to everything they speak about, is on these 7 bhumikas. So, what is materialistic and what is spiritualistic? The desire to find out whether the person is really can be given something or not as dana. Does he deserve it or not? Is called as materialistic thinking. What is spiritualistic? You are giving to yourself. So would you question yourself whether you want to give 50,000 to yourself or 1 lakh to yourself? In fact, none of us give to ourselves. Have you gifted yourself anything in life?
Means I have gifted to others?
No. Have you gifted yourself? Have you patted your back for anything from your starting till today?
That is you when you get very, very happy when something is achieved, that kind of thing, right?
No. Have you patted your back yourself?
No,
No. None of us do it.
because it is other side, not front side.
Yes.
Back.
So we always feel that somebody should appreciate us.
Yeah, we expect.
Yes, we.
Anahata chakras, the negative. Yeah, this one.
So we expect
Yeah.
appreciation from others. Have we self-appreciated ourselves? Because that self is what is holding this body. We don't. So we all are materialistic in that way, because we don't know thyself. So we fail. So we are not even in forget Satvapatti, we are not even in Subhecha, because Subha Ichcha is from you, not from anybody else. So let us say, have I treated myself of 10,000 rupees, bought whatever I wanted to buy? You will see that you wouldn't. We just keep it in the bank, or we invest somewhere. We invest in shares or in mutual fund or in land or this or that, and that's all we do. Right now, we are all beggars, because all the money is in the bank or in somewhere else. But when it is there in the bank or in somewhere else, do you really require it? No. And still we are begging. saying that no, it is insufficient. So what's the difference between that beggar who has come near my home and asking for money and me? Both are same. Maybe from his dress he looks like a beggar. From the dress what I wear, I don't seem like a beggar. That's the only difference. But we both are beggars. That is vicharana. So if this works, you will come into the padartha abhavana. So that means there's nothing wrong in you working anywhere. It doesn't have anything to do with whether you are working in a company or you are working as a farmer or you're working for this or working for that. That is immaterial. The true self never works for anyone. It works in everyone. In the same way. If the person considers himself as a beggar, that consciousness makes him feel like a beggar. If the person feels that he is a king, the consciousness makes him feel like a king. If the person feels he is genuinely happy, consciousness makes his feeling of genuine happiness being there. So if somebody comes home to beg, it is you only who is begging, nobody else. So you give to whatever you want. Why is that I should now take an assignment of knowing whether that person deserves or doesn't deserve? Whether this work deserves that much money or not? Who am I to comment on that? It is his karma. If he is telling lies and taking money, it's his karma. He is doing damage. It's already 9:29.
Yeah. Yoga Vasishtha is a big one.
Yoga Vasishtha.
Thanks for the introduction and giving a high level understanding of that.
I just only scratched the surface, but
I just downloaded only one that's by Mysore Maharaja has published. I think he sponsored this one by Yoga Vasishtha in Kannada by Devudu.
Yeah, that is a very big one. I will send you something which is easily understandable, reachable.
This is 515 pages. I think it is only one part, most probably. Not everything. Samputa 20 it says. What is the meaning of Samputa means?
Volumes.
So many volumes. Oh, just 20th one. My God. That means 19th is missing.
No, you are going to die with that book. I have.
No, I will not. I can't read such a big one.
So that is the reason I'm telling you, don't do that. Yeah. I will send you the book.
I think what you explained me that, yes, clearly I understood, but to digest it will take some time.
Yes.
Mananam is required.
See, the problem with all of us is that we are not doing enough manana. At least I appreciate Lata that she is putting in strong will to do the manana. Without manana, this nididhyasana is not going to happen. So what happens is we keep on getting the same questions again and again because we have not experienced it. And it will never go unless we experience.
Yes.
So we will again come back to the same question. How this started, why this started, what happened. Because that's the only way you can try to unearth what you're searching. So since we are all searching, we keep on searching.
Yeah, correct.
So there is nothing wrong in our search. And there is I don't feel bad about you asking questions in a different way or Padma Shri saying something in one way and Lata saying in another way, because we all are searching, including myself. So there is no need to feel bad or worried or feeling angry or disturbed or whatever. I don't feel anything at all, and I don't mind saying that same thing in different ways, because I don't lose anything nor gain anything out of it. So it is fun.
Yeah, but here the reality is there are so much of knowledge is available, but what is needed for us at this point in time is important.
Yes, that's all what
And
is
then
required.
what you're telling is share the experience it in your day-to-day life.
Yes, then you share it, you will really love it. Otherwise it will not. It will just give you some false hope that tomorrow it will work or day after tomorrow it will work. It's not going to happen like that.
Yes. So I prefer currently to be with the Vivekachudamani and sharing experience.
That is better. So let us not
Because
go-
earlier I think there is an agreement between us. Once you touch Vivekachudamani, you try to experience it.
Yes.
And
Anyway.
after that, anything you want to read, it will be easy.
Yes, anyway, to help you further, if you want to read, I have sent you the Yoga Vasishtha book also.
Okay.
I think let us finish Vivekachudamani first.
Yeah, correct.
Yes, we need to connect. We need to completely grasp it and experience.
Yeah, don't become like me, like a honeybee going and trying to take from every flower. Something.
Yes. See, the problem is like this. You become what you think. Now you start thinking Yoga Vasishtha, you become Yoga Vasishtha. Then suddenly we come back to Vivekachudamani, so you start experiencing Vivekachudamani for some time. So it's like I was telling my son yesterday, giving the same example of lens and sun and paper. It's almost going to burn. I now change my mind. I will put it somewhere else. Okay, so now it will take time. And I find that it is not burning, so I'll again put it somewhere else. And again will put somewhere else. It's like shooting in dark, not knowing where I want to really hit the target. So first thing is we have to set the target and then hit it in the same spot. Keep on trying. Just like Ekalavya. It will happen. Because the best part is that we are all divine. So yesterday I was telling to Lata, we are all divine and we are searching for divinity. It is like holding 100 rupee note or $100 note and searching $100 note. Where did I keep the $100 note? It is there in your hand only. Just open your palm, you have $100 note or 100 rupee note or whatever that is. But we are asking people, show me, where will I find it? So let's finish Vivekachudamani. So finally the deathless is Turiya, where nothing exists except for consciousness. So getting rid of all names and forms is Turiya. So no wife, no husband, no son, no daughter, no guru, no shishya. That is exactly Nirvana Shataka is all about. Mano, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankar, Anaham. From there to all the five senses, to relationships, to everything is not that. They are just projections, they are not real. Okay then, so we'll meet tomorrow.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Vilas.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Bye.
you. Bye.